My bro Skills was good with his skills. Mr. New Orleans was good with it, Brody. Was good with my bro Crush. Was good with it, Crush. Appreciate y'all boys for pulling up as always. I had to do this live. I ain't do one yesterday because they ruined my plans and cancel all the real boxing. They can't. I mean, postpone. Should I say they ain't cancel, but they postponed all the real boxing yesterday, which was September 10th. And it left us with a lot of bull, if I'm being honest. They left us with a lot of funny business, man. A lot of I don't know, a lot of fights that shouldn't have happened, man. Like straight up, man. We being honest, a lot of fights just shouldn't have happened. Whatever happened, Three Kings, you already know it, bro. They appreciate you as always, bro. Yo, whatever happened, let me turn my camera on, y'all. Yo, whatever happened to like I know these fights are supposed to be exhibitions, right? I know that. I get it. They're supposed to be exhibitions, but whatever happened to the headgear? Like dudes fighting with headgear on and shit because, they just not of the level to just be getting punched on like that. You get what I'm trying to say? And, this might be an unpopular lie, but, I don't care. I'm going to talk my shit. Y'all already know, man. And this, again, I want to start this all by saying this is no disrespect to nobody that participated on that card. But it's just me being real about it, man. Just calling a spade a spade. Like, you don't go through a whole career in professional football as physically demanding as that sport is. You don't go through your whole career in that. Get banged up. You get what I'm saying? You go through the injuries and all that stuff. The long ass career that Adrian Peterson had. You don't have a career like that in football to try to jump into the boxing game is what I'm saying. So although people might feel like, oh, well, why you think they playing boxing? They trained. Yeah, they trained. They worked. They was working hard. They was doing this. They was doing that. Yeah, they was working hard, all right. Working hard on getting in the ring, getting their ass beat. You get what I'm saying? I think the lack of respect of the sport is starting to annoy me. That's how I got here. Like, and again, I'm not against none of these dudes getting their money. If that's what y'all in it for, if that's what y'all need, like, look, man, who am I to judge, man? You want or if you just want the bag, that's cool. But I think it's levels, man. As I always say, over it's levels, man. You can't just be jumping in no sport after you had a whole career of professional football and decide that, oh, you know what? I'm gonna start getting punched on for a living. Like, you get what I'm saying? And I don't know what kind of career out of this that these dudes is looking to make, but nonetheless, it's weird and it's a little annoying. You know what I'm saying? It's a little frustrating to see it because they putting these shits on little pay-per-views and all type of little weird shit. Like, let's be honest, man. Y'all shouldn't demand nobody money to see former athletes or former football players get knocked the fuck out, NBA players getting punched on, dropped, all types of silly shit going on, man. And I think EJ was on to something, y'all. I think he was on to something. Know what I'm saying? Bro, feel like they in boxing and they playing, and I think I agree with him 100%. And I just want to be clear. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people might say, well, they ain't playing boxing because they training. These dudes working out, all that. It take more than a fucking training camp or working out for a few months or something to get ready for a fight. Am I right or am I wrong? Like, it take a lot longer than that to get ready for a fight, man. And what these dudes doing, yeah, man, they on the fast track to getting themselves hurt, man. Just being honest, man. Like, that's how you get yourself hurt. I don't know how long these dudes is working on the craft or whatever the case is, but you can tell by how all of those guys looked in the ring. They all need to still be fighting with headgear on. This shit ain't nothing to play with. Boxing ain't nothing to play with. Like I said, you got Swaggy P. Know what I mean? This dude, Nick Young, I just couldn't remember his name at the time I was making this video, so I had to call him Swaggy P. But Nick Young ass, you're going to have a whole basketball career pretty much. Now you decide right now at this age, you want to get punched in your face for a living, bro? Like, get your ass out of here, man. Somebody gonna get hurt playing like that. And you see what Spence said, man. Spence had a few things to say, man. Spence ain't feeling it either, man. Because he do this shit for a living. You get what I'm saying? He do this shit for real. You get what I'm saying? He don't want to see this shit, motherfuckers playing with his sport like that. You get what I'm saying? You got these dudes getting in here. I don't know. I guess it's bad. It's financially motivated, but
If that's the only reason you in boxing, especially at the age they at, then they might as well not even do it, or they better do it with headgear. Moving forward, I think they need to start implementing headgear in these exhibitions and call them what they are, and stop finessing people out their money, trying to make them think that they about to see a real fight and they not. I don't care what kind of shape they look. I don't care what kind of muscles they got. I don't care about none of that shit. I don't care how many people he ran over in the NFL. I don't care how many first downs he ran for, how many yards and touchdowns he got. None of that shit equate and transition over to being a professional boxer. And that's essentially what they're pretending to be. If you're getting in the ring and one could assume what they got 8 to 10 ounce gloves on with no headgear, that's a real fight, bro. I don't know. Yeah, you can't play with boxing like that. You got actual boxers getting damaged and getting hurt in the sport. You know what I mean? And they training to do this shit. Then you got y'all dudes jumping in there for a bag just to get paid, making fools out of yourself. I think that shit is weird. I just had to talk about it. I think it's weird. I had to speak on it, man. They had far too many of these dudes playing games. I got some clips of some of these dudes, too. There's a lot of joking and playing going on in this ring, man. These dudes didn't look like they were serious at all. It was a lot of posturing, a lot of joking, a lot of playing around going on in the ring. Dudes sitting around and getting their asses punched on for I don't know how much money these dudes was getting, man. All of them was in there getting their asses beat. Look at them souping it up. Look at that power. Shut your ass up. Austin McBroom got sparked and knocked the hell out, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was sad. And again, man, before I let y'all get out of here, because I ain't gonna make this too long, I just had to come and speak on, you know, what I think probably this shit like this probably exists because the best fighters in actual sport of boxing ain't fighting each other. So I think it creates room. It leaves a lot of breathing room for events like this to take place now. I'm not fully against exhibitions. I think they just need to be treated as such. These dudes, we need to be very clear. These dudes are not professional boxers. Don't have nobody thinking these dudes are professional boxers. The shit shouldn't be going on no professional record or no shit like that. I shouldn't be able to pull up box rec and Austin McBroom got a record. You get what I'm saying? I should not be able to do that. None of these dudes should have records or resume. None of that. They playing right now, man. And they need to stay in their lanes level. So put y'all headgear on and get in there like y'all supposed to and stop playing with the sport for somebody around and get hurt for real, man. That's all I'm saying. And AP could have been a prime example. Swaggy P, shit, he hit his head. He got knocked damn near out the ring or something and hit his head or whatever the fuck it was. Dude pushed him, whatever it was. You know what I'm saying? They backing that. And then they backing it up by what real boxing commentators like. So who's to say, like, for the people that maybe it's their first time tuning into some boxing shit and they seeing this, and then you seeing dudes that commentate in real fights talking about this shit like it's real and selling it. Come on, man. Don't sell us bullshit. Don't shine us up shit and tell us it's gold. Because we just seen y'all had an opportunity where y'all was fortunate. Y'all was very fortunate that the circumstances allowed y'all to have spotlight shined on y'all. And this is what y'all did. This is what y'all got in there and did. Played with the people. Resident said this is a bunch of shit. These people are just here to get on TV. He said Peterson should have known he needed to move his feet since he's a runner, you know? You get what I'm saying? Even the commentary, yeah, facts, Tay, facts. They got to do better. I know they trying to sell this shit, but man, that ain't it. Body work, salute, bro. Salute. Appreciate you for stopping through. I was just in here wrapping it up about this debacle or whatever they want to call this shit because it wasn't boxing. So I just wanted to be clear, like, for anybody that might even question it, that's not boxing, y'all. That's what we seen last night. For the people that seen it, or for y'all that seen them clips that I showed, that's pretty much it. Watching the full fights is just waste y'all time. Like, put some headgear on. People could take that shit, you know, don't take it too serious because it wasn't real boxing. And again, like I was talking about with Bodywork when he was just live. If our fighters is getting in there fighting each other, the best fighting the best, I think it leaves less room for situations like this. You get what I'm saying? So, I mean, I guess boxing as a whole got to take some blame for this, but at the same time, I'm not against, you know, nobody going to chase their bag, but at what cost? You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, all Adrian Peterson did, whatever money he made, he just turned himself into a meme forever. You know what I'm saying? Getting knocked out like that. So, Austin McBroom, same thing. Now you a meme. You did all that talking, now you a meme. For the rest of those dudes, Swaggy P, he got a knockdown, but he's a meme too because he then got knocked out the ring. So all of that shit is jokes. Like, you can't take none of it serious. I mean, this type of shit should be explained thoroughly, like I said, to the people, that this is exhibition boxing. This is not, you know what I mean? This is not real fighters fighting. These are guys that, because of their, you know, maybe their reputations or their success in previous or other sports or having success in other areas. Like, just think, you got YouTubers, influencers, you got retired, I guess these guys is retired Bell and Peterson. I don't know if they still trying to play, who knows, but you got basically either retired football and basketball players or guys that's at the end of their careers. You know what I'm saying? Now they're doing boxing. You got YouTubers, which I don't not, you know, they're very successful in the YouTube space. And then you got influencers as well in the ring, masquerading as boxers. And you got these dudes in there with no headgear on, and they ain't even have so much as an amateur fight. You mean to tell me so you could just skip all the steps, go train for a couple weeks, get right in the ring, be on TV, and get just knocked around? That shit is a joke. There's really no difference. I know people personally that will put on better fights than these dudes. And they supposed to be trained athletes. This is why I'm saying you can't play with this sport like that. This is not a sport that you just decide to pick up late to go get some money. You want to get some money, it's a lot of other safer ways to get some money than to go try to play with some boxing, because you can't play it, simply put. And what we seen last night, bunch of guys that don't truly respect the sport the way I wouldn't have been in there playing. Y'all ain't got you got no resume. You have no, you know what I mean, no track record in the sport of boxing to be in there playing. Like, you get what I'm saying? Dude putting their hands down, dude putting his hand behind his back, sticking their tongue out, other dude dancing around. Swaggy P almost knocked out the ring. He done hit his head outside the ring. Almost out. He ain't fall all the way out. He fell through the rope, should I say, and out on the outside of the apron. But shit just looks sloppy and foolish, man. And that just, again, just to be clear, that's not boxing. And hopefully moving forward, we see less of this, man, because that shit was sloppy. It wasn't a good card. It's nothing to be proud of. I don't care who put that card on. You would call it successful or whatever. I'm talking about from a entertainment perspective. Was that entertaining to me? No, because when you seeing guys in there with arguably 8 to 10 ounce gloves, whatever they had on, and no headgear, I'm expecting to see professionals. And not one of those dudes that competed last night was a professional, but they passed them off as pros. That's not what pro boxing look like, y'all. That's not. It's not at all. Now, when we tune into these cards October 15th, that's what boxing look like. That shit last night, that's what boxing look like when you playing. Just to be clear, when you playing boxing, you get a card like what you just got last night. And I get it, people want to make their money and all that, but again, at what cost? You know what I'm saying? At the cost of somebody's health. These dudes are, I don't care about their muscles. I don't care about the success they had in they other, you know what I mean, sports, respective sports. It's all good, but this boxing, and I'm gonna keep saying it, you can't play it, but yet and still we had a number of different guys in there, from influencers to YouTubers to, you know what I mean, former football players and basketball players playing with the sport. And that's why you got the result you got. I don't care who won in any of them fights. They all look sloppy and crazy. At least until one of them expire in there. Facts, bro. And that's just what it is. And it's like, when do y'all gonna be sitting around looking for another reason to blame? You know what I'm saying? When in reality, you're allowing people to put their lives on the line in a sport that they just are not that experienced in, just for a couple of hours. That shit at this point is not really even entertaining. Who really want to see Adrian Peterson get knocked out after seeing the kind of career he had? Don't nobody want to see that. You get what I'm saying? Don't nobody want to see that. It was a mess. It was a mess, lady dude. It was a mess. And like, again, hopefully we see less of that moving forward, because that's not what boxing looked like. And it's unfortunate that we had to get a real card canceled. You know what I mean? Just to see this, you know, shenanigan that they put on, this little debacle, little sideshow, circus show that they put on last night. And again, I just want to be clear that what for people that don't know. I mean, we know for the most part, but for just in case anybody's confused, that's not real boxing, man, at all, at all. That's simply amateur boxing with no headgear, no headgear. Those are popular people that trained a little while, trained for a few months or whatever the case it may be, and because of their connected or their reputations or success that they had in prior fields other than boxing, they're able to, be awarded this opportunity to be on TV and participate in the sport that we all rock with. And again, I wouldn't be so critical if I didn't see as much playing as I did. I just seen too much playing. I seen too much like inexperience. I never watched the whole card that much, where it's just inexperience after inexperience after just like joke after joke after joke. Sorry, man. Yeah, that's not how y'all box. That's not how you box, bro. That's not how you box. And I for one myself hope to never see that again. Matter of fact, be honest with you, I won't even sit through another card like that. That was the last straw for me with these little side shows and shit like that. Like it'll make you lose interest in the sport if this was what real boxing was. I'm just letting y'all know that. So again, everything's canceled over there. Even the kids don't have to go to school for 10 days. Yeah, it's big when they cancel school. It's big. So I understand they got a way they do things, but us, we just do things differently. And it's unfortunate that the fights has even had to take place over there in the first place. But like I said, I think one of the deciding factors of the fights taking place over there and not here is simply that, Savannah Marshall ain't willing to come out of her comfort zone anyway for that smoke. She don't really, really want that smoke with Clarissa to me. She wouldn't actually chase it. It's Clarissa that's chasing the smoke over that way. Get what I'm saying? So it just is what it is, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. But nonetheless, man, like I said, we got a date. It's just unfortunate that the women's card is on the 15th, the same as Kambosos and Haney and Wilder and Helenius. And I think that fight's still gonna do what it's gonna do, but I think it would have did a lot better if they'd have had a date that was their own, which it should have been. I think whoever responsible for coming up with that date, they fumbled on this one. And maybe they know that. Maybe it was intentional. You get what I'm saying? But again, in the sport, that's male dominant, male dominant for the most part, where the women already have to compete against the men, whether people want to believe it or not. They shouldn't have at least had to do it on this date as well. They already have to compete on every other day, with boxing, with men in boxing. So I think them having their day and having having an all women's card where it's just them, I think that was great for boxing and women's boxing, but I think now that they got to kind of share the stage, and it's with 2 fights. So it's like, it's crazy. I'm interested to see how it's going to turn out, but nonetheless, I think the women's card is still going to do its thing because I think it stands for something. I think it's a lot more people realizing and understanding that the women got something to offer to the sport as well. So I think a lot more people are open and understanding that, women's boxing is on the rise and it's just getting better. You know what I'm saying? So I think we all need to tune in. Despite what card we watch on the 15th, I think we all should make sure we tune into that women's card for sure. To make sure, show them as much support as we possibly can. Because I feel like, if the better the women's sport does, the better the sport as a whole does. You got your men in the sport and then you got your women. If the men are doing what they supposed to and the women are too, because to be honest, the women do a lot less ducking and shit that the men do. So, as long as they get the recognition and get the light shined on them, it's going to grow the sport as a whole. And I think at the end of the day, that's what we all want anyway. We want to see the sport continue to grow, bring more eyes to it, and see the quality of the sport improve and get better. You know what I'm saying? And I think that starts by making sure we shed light on the women that's putting in just as much, if not more work than some of these men are. You know what I mean? But that's my thoughts on this, man. I ain't going to keep you out here too much longer. I just wanted to come here and shed light on this and just pretty much highlight, like, you can't play boxing, and there's people that's not casuals, and some people might have found that entertaining, but from a boxing standpoint, and y'all going to pass that off as boxing, what they did last night, professional boxing, that wasn't professional boxing. That was amateur boxing, with grown ass people. You get what I'm saying? Only difference was they wasn't kids. They were all adult people, but that was amateur level boxing. I'm sticking to that. That's no slighter disrespect to nobody that participated. But from what I've seen from the beginning to the end, not one of those dudes belong in that ring without headgear on. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to see what they do moving forward. I doubt if they decide to switch anything up because, again, it's people that's pushing it. Is they're motivated by it financially from a financial perspective. So I doubt if they change anything else, especially if it's going to affect their pockets in any way, shape, or form. But that's my just do on it, man. I appreciate everybody that came through to, kick it with me to talk about this, unfortunate card that we had to, endure for the ones that watched it due to the fact that that all women's card got postponed. But like I said, nonetheless, they got a date October 15th. So I'll be tuned in. Then we still gonna get the fight. We just had to wait a little bit longer. So warning to the real boxing, if they keep playing around, that's a good point, bro. Keep playing around. It's gonna be more shows like this, and more people are gonna feel disrespected because I don't think Spence enjoyed a minute of that shit. Like this shit, y'all ain't here playing. Like, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, the reason why I love the sport as much as I do is because you can't play it and you're going to find yourself hurt if you continue to get in there and play it. But salute to everybody that came through in the building, man. Y'all smash that like button for your bro on the way out, man. It's still early, man. So, me, I do double up sometimes. I might come back with another live, man. We're going to see what's going on in the real boxing world. And I'll be back with y'all shortly, man. But till then, salute to everybody. Peace to the TWT family and the chat family.